Okay, so we're pulling apart, squeezing the shoulder blades together, keeping the head in a nice neutral position, and slowly returning, keeping the tension on the band the whole time. Just like so. Hey, so welcome back. So this exercise is a bent arm banded pull apart. Now, if you fall under any of the 4 categories I'm just about to mention, now this exercise is really for you. Now, if you've ever had shoulder pain, pushing or pulling, or instability even, you've struggled to progress with certain exercises because, same thing, unstable. In upper body exercise, so push-ups, rows, those kinds of things. If you struggle to do progress with those things, this is a really important one for you then. Or you just want to keep your shoulder healthy and limit the risk of injury, or you want to make sure that the muscles are prepped and prepared before exercise, and they're firing at the right time when you need them. Now, those last 2 points are really, really important, and it's probably, chances are, is the reason why you're watching this video, is making sure, because we are seated a lot, and those shoulders are rounded a little bit, and usually the muscles at the back are either a little bit atrophied and because they haven't had a heap of love, or they just don't really know when to fire at the right time. Now, the bent arm banded pull apart is a really important exercise for your rotator cuff and the lower trapezius muscles, so lower trap muscles. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't know what those muscles are, that's fine, but just know that those 2 muscles are hugely responsible for keeping your shoulder safe and secure and stable. If those muscles aren't working properly, you're going to have a really tough time progressing and keeping your shoulder healthy and safe. So let's just jump into it. So we're going to take the band, and the hands are just inside the shoulders. Keep the upper trap, so these muscles right here, on either side, you want to make sure that they're nice and relaxed. If the hands, if that's too close, take a wider grip and just kind of meet yourself where you're at. And you're going to pull the band apart and squeeze your shoulder blades back and together. Like someone's got their finger in between your shoulder blades and you're squeezing them together. Hands should be, like the aim of the game, should be actually beside you. Now, don't worry if you can't, that's fine, but that's where we're heading. So even if you get to there, totally fine. Just start where you're at, and just slowly work yourself up. Now, sometimes, just a quick little mention, if you're using something this thick, you've got to find something a little bit thinner. Now, this band in particular is very, very stretchy, so that's probably a worthwhile mention. If you can only get to a certain point, make sure that the band you're using is really quite light. Okay, common mistakes is from side view. If we're pulling the band apart and you were to look at yourself from side view, you want to make sure that the head's not poking forward. That's one mistake. 2, you're not arching and flaring too much. You just want to stay nice and neutral, and the shoulders are moving. 3 is when you're pulling the band apart, you're not squeezing the shoulder blades together. You're just pulling them apart. So you really want to make sure that if you are a friend, put their hands on your shoulder blades, they are squeezing back down them together, and they're really squeezing out. You will know if you're not doing that right, if you're not squeezing your shoulder blades right, because these will activate. They will be hard to touch. So a really easy way to work that out is to attach this to a door potentially, or put your knee on it like so. Now the angle's going to change, but this will serve a purpose. Is when you pull it apart, does this get tight, and does it get hard? Now if it does, then know that you either have to make sure adjust your grip a little bit, or get a lighter band, or 3, make sure that you're just pulling your shoulders down and back harder and pulling them apart. Now, sometimes it just might be a case of just not going as far, but just try all those 3 things and work your way through it. Because if these are tightening up, you're kind of defeating the purpose a little bit. If they're a little bit tight, don't worry about it too much. You'll get better over time. Yeah, try those things. As always, any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. And as always, see you guys soon. Bye.